Hello, Claire.
Afternoon, Sylvester.
Right. I don't want to go. I want to go ahead. Gotta go back. All right. Anybody with any questions? Hello? Questions? All right. No questions. We've been talking about functions, right? Now, so before we get started, this is what I want you to do. All right. I want you to write a program that will declare a variable, give it a value, make it global, make the variable global. All right. Write just a simple program that declares a variable, say declare an int variable to equal to 25. Then I want you to write a function that will be called from the main to output that value. Okay? So go into your Visual Studio, write a program, or start writing a program, declare initializing a variable to equal to 25, or integer variable to equal to 25. Then continue writing a code that will call from the main a function that will print out that value, the value of that variable. All right, because we've been working with functions. So I'll give you it's about 6 or 7 minutes. Everybody got that?
Yes, sir.
All right, write a program that will declare or initialize a variable to equal to 25. Then, yes, I'm listening.
Sorry. Do you want us to write our name in the chat for a roll again?
Yeah, go ahead on and put your name in the chat. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Everybody put your name in the chat as you log in. Trying to pull up. Okay, let's see. All right, so that should be your share. Okay. Initialize a variable. Be int, whatever. Number equal 25. As global. If it was declared in here, it would be local. We're gonna do that after we do this. Now you need to define your function and call your function. And if you don't put it at the function at the top and it's at the bottom, you need your prototype of your function. All right, anybody have it? Hello? You can do a prototype, you can do void, whatever you want to call it. And then in here you can do then down here it would do all right. So you should have something like this, class. The variable initialized to 25. Remember we said our prototype, our call, and our definition. The definition of the function goes outside of the main function, all right? So what do we have here? A void print data. What arguments are being passed? No arguments are being passed. So print data, we're just calling that function with no arguments. We go to print data, it's receiving no arguments, and it's just gonna output this statement, return back, do return 0, and it's finished. All right? So if you execute this, this is somewhat what you would get. See, the value is 25. Did everybody get that? Hello? I know I'm not a muter.
Oh, you lied, Mr. Sylvester.
Oh, yeah, it's like I'm in class by myself. Okay. Did y'all get that? Did y'all?
That's what I got.
Okay, and it worked?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, anybody else? Questions? Now, this is what I want you to do. That initialization statement, I want you to cut it and paste it inside the main function. All right, cut it and paste it inside the main function. Now, you could execute it and see what happens. Just cut it and paste it inside the main function. It says, oh, I have errors, all right? Undefined number, okay? Or it's like say, what it's saying. Yep, number is undefined. All right? Identify number is undefined. Number undeclared, all right? Here. Everybody get that error? Hello? Did everybody get that error?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right, why you got that error? All right.
Because it's no longer a global value.
Correct. Because of the scope of number. Number is only recognized now within what? The main function. So when I took it from out here, which it was global, and I placed it inside this function, now the scope of number, where it's being known, is inside of this main function. Any other reference of number in any other function now is undefined. All right, number is undefined. So, question, how can I changing the content of my print or data function, modifying my program. I don't want to change the content. I'm gonna need to change this and some other stuff. How can I modify the program to output that value of 25? If number is not known here, we're gonna have to figure out a way to pass number from this function to this function, all right? The value of number needs to be passed to this function. How do we do that? Number is of what data type? Int, right? So here is the function that we want to pass number to, print data. So we need to tell it that we want to pass an int value, all right? But then this has to match this. So in here, I have to tell it I'm gonna pass an int value, but now I need to tell it what variable name I'm gonna use when I pass that value. I can use the same variable name because they're different. They're in different scopes. Or I can use an entirely new name. But I said how we modify it without changing this line. So I'd have to give it the same name, all right? Number, correct? Now, that's done, but I'm not finished yet. Because in my call, when I pass it, I need to tell it what integer value I want to pass, or what integer variable I want to pass, value or variable. I want to pass the variable number. Now, this program has just been modified to where I have a local variable called number initialized to 25 that is being passed when print data is called. It's being passed to print data in a variable called number, and it's going to print out the value that was passed, that number was equal to. And so if you run your program, you'll see that it's going to print out just like it did before. So if I run it, you're going to get the exact same results. So you see how you can write code, but then given specific instructions, your code can be wrong because you didn't do it in the fashion that it was asked, all right? And it can make it complicated. All right, because just to initialize it to 25, create a function and print out the value, yeah, you can make it global and print out any value that's global, but to pass the value, then that makes it a little more difficult. Maybe not much, but a little more difficult. All right, so everybody got this one to work. Right? Because I want you to see the difference. All right, now, everybody got this one to work?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now, let me ask you this. Well, I told you, I'm passing number into a variable called number that's known here. So if number is not really known, this particular variable number is not known here, I could give it any name. I could say value, all right? So what's happening now, I'm passing 25, whatever stored in number here, into value. So if I want to output whatever number is, I have to say what? Value here. Because what? I stored the number 25, or the number 25 that's in number is being passed to value. So in order for me to print out that number, I'm telling it I'm putting it in a variable called value. I have to print out value. Everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
So this variable does not have to be the exact same variable name, because what? It knows that number's going to be passed into that integer variable, and you declaring that variable here saying int and whatever the variable name is. But you have to remember it's being passed into this variable name, and that variable name has to be used in here in order for me to print it or use it or do whatever I have to do with it. Everybody got that?
Yes, sir.
Everybody got it. All right. So now, So that's how you create a function, all right, and you pass the value, and then you use that value to do whatever you have to do with it. All right. So now we also went over, and let me go back here, and I'm gonna do this. See how. And I think this was our last example on last class period. So class, when I return to the main function and I print out number, what value will be printed out for number?
25.
25, because it's 25 here, 25 is being passed to here, and then we'll just return back and it's still 25. But if I do something like this, now what I'm doing, passing 25 here, all right, printing out the value, which is 25. Then I'm doubling 25, right?
Yes, sir.
Multiplying 20, well, time 2, and then I'm returning and I'm printing out number. What's going to print out?
Is it gonna be 50?
No. Remember the scope. Value is only known where? In this scope here, right?
Yes, sir.
So whatever we do to value is not being done to num because we passed the value. So let's run it to prove our theory. Okay. 25, still 25, right? But value was changed, correct?
Yes, sir.
So let's print out value just to make sure that it's doing what we're saying it's going to do. Let's run it now. See, value is 50, right? So
Right.
it sends 25 to the function, prints out 25, doubles value to 50, but when it returns, when the program returns back to the main, number is still the same, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, do y'all remember what we talked about passing by reference? So we just passed it by the value. If I pass by reference, all of a sudden now, what's happening is whatever I do to number here will be done. Yeah, wait, what's going on here? Oh, I can do that. Let's see, int, I'm passing integer. Oh, address. Okay, here we go. I'm finna say what's going on. So what's happening is I'm passing an integer, but I'm passing the address, all right, the reference. So now when I pass number, it's gonna pass the address of number, all right? It's gonna pass the address of number into values. So whatever happens to values will be done to what? Numbers, because I'm working on at a lower level. I'm working at the address level. All right. So it's gonna print when it gets here. Well, it won't. It's gonna print 25 because that's what was passed. Whatever that address 25. Then it's gonna double value and it's gonna print 50. But whatever's done to value is being done to number because we pass by reference. So when we return here to see out number, all right, see out number and then the actual variable number, it will print 50. Okay, so let's prove that theory. So everybody see that. It printed 25 when it went to the function, all right? Then it doubled value, which made it 50. But what? We passed by reference. And when we pass by reference, whatever we do to that variable is being done to the variable the address where it came from. So it changes number to equal a 50 also, even though it started out at 25. Questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, so everybody got that. All right, so now, let's go back to our notes. Okay, so we back in our notes, we looked at all this. Okay, let me see if I can get to where we were a little close to him. Come on, go down. Yeah. All right. Yeah, all these functions. So now, so what they're showing you here, the deeper. I'll show you right quick. All right. So if we go here, now, when you're dealing with functions, if we look at this, print data is being called from what? The main function, correct? When we call print data takes us into this area, correct? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take out all this code. I'm gonna just put some coutts here like they did in the book, so you'll understand what's going on. I even took out the function. So I'll take that off. So, all right. So what happens is, I'll just say void I'll say call one. Call one. What? Okay. Call two. Okay, so now, I have these functions that are actually just being the prototype. So let's define those functions. But I'm gonna just put a cout statement in them. All right. Okay. Okay. So that's all we want to put in that one. We just said the first call. All right. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy it and then modify it. Like, oh, I don't want to do that. Okay. I'll select this, copy it, and I'll paste it. So we have 4 of them. Now make sure I change everything to where it works. Well, that's all of them. 1, 2, 3. So this will be the second, third, fourth. Like I say, you can have unlimited number of functions. All right, first, I'll put my T back. Put my T back. All right, so now this is the 4th call. Now, in my program here, I don't need this really. I could do call 1. All right. I'll do a call 1, call 2, call 3, call 4. So looking at this main function, what happens? The program does what? It defines these prototypes. Then it say, oh, go to call 1. What we gonna do? We're gonna output first call. After it completes all the statements, however many statements in here, but we only have 1, it's gonna return back to the next line in the program and start executing again. So what? Call 2. So now it goes to call 2, and it's gonna output second call. And then however many statements it had, it would execute them, and then it would return back. It calls call 3, output third call, return back, output call 4. So let's run this and see what we get. All right, you should just get those first calls. And let me do this though. I'll do this. I'll put this so you can kind of see what's happening. Okay, see out. Leaving. I'll say about. Okay, and after each one of these, I'll put see out. All right, return from call function. And I'll just put that after each one of those. So you can kind of see what the flow is. All right, so let's run this. So when we run this, all right, so what happened? Okay, about to leave main function. Where did it go? First call, because this was the function it called. Okay, after it completed first call, return the main function. Then it executed call 2. Okay, printed second call. Return from call function. So it returned from call function 2, and then it calls call function 3. All right. It calls call 3, and then what? Output after it returned, prints this out, it returns back, and it prints return from call. And then it sees call 4, it goes to the call function and print out fourth call, and then return back and say return from a function, and then go to return 0, and it ends. So you see what's happening. Now, is this the only way that you can manipulate these functions? No, it's not. I can make call function 1 call function 2 be called from call 1. All right. What I'll do is this. I'm gonna just comment this out. Okay, I'm gonna comment this, and I'm gonna comment this. What I'm doing. I'm gonna comment this out. Now, what am I going to do? I'm gonna go into call 1, and here I'm gonna say call 2. So now what? Main gonna call 1, and then within call 1 is gonna call 2. Now, the thing is, now I'm in call 2. Where do I return? Do I return back to the main, or do I return to call 1? Anybody? Anybody? Where do I return? Hello?
Go back up to the main.
No, you always return to the calling function. Who called call 2? Call 1. Right.
Call one.
So you return to call one. It could have some more statements to execute, but if not, then who called call one? The main, right?
Yes, sir.
See?
Correct.
So now you go back to the main and you go back to the next executable statement and it's going to call 3. All right? Go to it, return back to the main and call 4. You understand? So let's debug it. And it's going to basically do the same thing without telling you it did call return from the main for call 2. Oh, look, it's down here. So what? About to leave a function, first call, right? It did this, right? But then it didn't return. Remember, it didn't return yet, right? It didn't return to the main. It did what? From the first call, it called what? Second call. So it went into call 2, and then call 2 returned back to call 1. Call 1 returned back to the main, which then in turn executed what? Return from call function, comment. Then it called 3, which is the third call, return, and then call 4, and then return, and then end. Everybody see that? Right? Hello? I hope you got it.
Yes.
So now what I can do, and I can make it more confusing, or like the book had, deeper, make it deeper and deeper. All right? I'm gonna only call 1 from the main function, and from call 1, I'm gonna call 2, and from 2, I'm gonna call 3, and from 3, I'm gonna call 4. All right? So what did happen? 1 calls 2, 2 calls 3, 3 calls 4. Now, when I leave 4, where do I return?
Back to main.
No. What function called 4?
Call
3. Then what function called 3?
2.
2.
What function called 2?
3.
Called 2.
1.
1. And then what function called 1?
Main.
The main. So you see how you got to step back out level by. It's almost like if you went down a street, again, I'm using the postal service, and they gave you some letters to hand out or put in the doors, and you went down the doors putting a letter in each house on the street. But then you recognize that you put the wrong letters on the wrong street, but you're on this street. You got to go, and you're going to what? You're going to go backwards, one house at a time till you complete. You know, you got to go to each one that you left previously until you complete it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So that's how it works with programming. Whatever function called that function, that's where you return to. All right? And like I say, it can get confusing at times. All right? But now, they all will do exactly the same thing, but what? 1 call 2, 2 call 3, 3 call 4, or I could do call 1, return back to the main, call 2, return to the main, call 3, return to the main, call 4, return to the main. You understand? So
Yes, sir.
either, it depends on the logic that you want in your program. So let's run this and see what happens. I'm gonna have maybe just 2 return. One maybe that was showing down here. So look what happened. About to leave the main function, it called 1, 1 called 2, 2 called 3, 3 called 4, and then what? Return to the main function, and then you end it. All right? So that's what happens. Okay? Now, so that's how you can get deeper and deeper into levels of functions. All right, you go from one, well, that one called the next one, that one called the next one. All right, but you don't want to get caught up with too many levels of functions, because your program got to end. It got to come all the way back out and eventually end. All right, it has to do that. All right, so the button. All right, let's see what we have here. Prototypes. That's what I just used. I use the prototypes, and look, void first. That means I'm gonna have a function called first with no arguments being passed. Void second. I'm declaring that I'm gonna have a function called second with no arguments passed. Kind of like what we have in our program here. We have what? Void call 1, void call 2, void call 3, void call 4. So each one of these are being declared. And then down here you have void call 1, void call 2 with the body. That's the function definition. But up here, you got call 1 with no void on it, open, close parentheses, semicolon. That's the function call, function call, function call, the actual call, function call, all right? So you got the definition, the call, and the prototype, which is declaring of the function. All right. Okay. We did the sending data to a function. Remember, let's return data. We did it on last class period, but let's do it now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna modify the program. I'm gonna take all those calls out. Let me undo. I think that might be faster. Well, it might not. All right. So here, let's see. Well, a minute. All right. So we'll take this off. All right. So many times you might have one value, all right, and you wanna return that value, okay? So let's say we did something like, okay, number equal 25. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna do something like, void calc, I'll just call it calc. All right, take this one out. All right, so now, what I'll do here, numbers equal to 25. What I would do, I wouldn't do void if I want to return a value. I'd have to give the data type of the value that I'm trying to return. So say I want to return an int value, right? Okay, so int calc, that signifies something that's being returned from that function. So here I'll do a calc, well, I could say int, I'll say results is equal to, and then I can say calc, all right? And in calc, I'm gonna pass number, all right? So now, and up here, if I do that, then I'm gonna have to do what I'm passing, an int, remember? All right, so now, in this calc, all right, in this calc, I want to pass an int, and I could call it NUM, remember, it don't have to be the same name, all right? So now, why did I get an error here? Calc int number, CALC results equal, that's right, calc int. I'm going to figure out what that. All right. So now what I can do here is I could do num time slash was equal to. All right. Semicolon. All right. So what I did here, int results, number is here. What's happening here? This thing. Can I know function? Oh, so here I have to, that's my fault. Here I have to say int here, and then I have to return num, all right? Or I could have just did a return on that expression, either way. But I assigned it a value and then I'm returning it. So now look at this. I'm declaring a function, all right, function prototype, and passing an int, but I'm gonna return something, an int. Here, int number 25, all right, then int results. Whatever this function returns will be stored in a variable called results. And then in here, I could say, see how, all right. All right. So now, so it's going to return the results, whatever calc, well, really it's 25. So 25 is going to be passed into num. Num going to be multiplied by 25, but then num going to be returned back into results, and we're going to print out results. Okay. So when we debug this, it should print out return results 25. Let me delete this. All right. See, return result. Well, not 25, 50, because we multiplying it and then we returning it. So debug. So see, we returning that value and it's doubled here and it's being returned back and stored into results. And now we can use results in this portion of the program to do whatever we have to do or whatnot. All right. So you see how you can return a value, any value, a Boolean value, a int value, a char value, a string value. You can return any data type, all right? Any data type. So that's returning a value. And you only can return one value, all right? That's why sometimes you do it by reference. Do it by reference, it's automatically changed. Then you can use the value of that variable in that when it returns back to the function, all right? Because in this program, number is still 25, all right? Remember we said that before because of the scope, remember? If I do, value of number will still be 25 because we doubled num, but what? We didn't pass num by reference. If we'd have passed number by reference, then value, results and number would be the same value. All right. See here, like you're gonna have 50, but number, and this is printed in the main, number did not change. The only way it would change is if I put an ampersand in here. I do this, and then I do this. Then all of a sudden, what? Both values gonna be the same value, all right? And I should get 50 and 50. Because what? No matter what I did see, I got 50 and 50. All right? So everybody see that. Now, okay, that's more. All right. Okay. passing values. We know we talked about that. They passing concrete values, which is a number. You can do that, but normally when you write code, you don't want to do that because it defeats the purpose of the code because it'll pass the same value all the time. Sometimes you may want that. Example, I don't need to pass number. I could comment this out and I could say 25, all right? But now I can't use ampersand because 25 don't have an address, all right? So now I can't print out this one because number is no longer understood because I'm printing a constant. I'm passing a constant. So calc results. So calc is being called and 25 is being passed in the num, all right? Num is being multiplied by 2, all right, which still give you the 50, and now you can print out the results, which is 50, all right? So you don't necessarily have to pass, what I do here? What error I got? What is the error? Oh, I still got this reference. Oh, that's why. 25 is a value. It's not stored. All right, it's a constant. All right, now it should run. All right. If it was stored in a variable, yes. See, 25 is just a number. All right. So now you get the 25. All right. I mean the 50, excuse me. All right. But you can pass an individual value. So that doesn't matter. Okay. Now, the argument list, what they're saying is with that, if I want to pass multiple values, I could pass an int, and an int. Or whatever, int, float, double char, int, string, char, bool, whatever. But I need to make sure my order list stays the same and it match when I go to the call function, all right? So if I do an int, float, and char. You understand? So I have to make sure when I'm doing this and when I'm with this function here, okay, an int, 25 is int. I could say 33, a float, and then a char. All right. So let's say, can I pass that individual value? I should. Oh, I'll have to pass 65. Tell me this. All right, well, let me do it this way. And number equals 25. Oh, I know I got an error because of the other thing. But let's see. All right, so I'll let us stand that. And then I have to change this num with the first one, num1, int, num2, what I had. I gotta look back at the top. Oh, float. And I'll say num3, and I'll say char let or letter. All right. So now, 25 will be passed into num1. 33 will be passed into num2. 382.28 will be passed into num3, and the lowercase a will be passed into letter. All right. So now I don't want to do the int. I'll just take this off, not returning anything. We could have, but we don't have to. We could take this out. Because I'm just showing you that you can pass multiple values, but those values has to be in order. All right. So I can say num1, okay, is equal to that, num2 plus equals 3, num3, And I could say divide equals 5. And then I could do, well, we know what let is. Now I could do C out num1, num1, num2, num3, and letter. All right, so now I could print those. I'm not returning anything. Return 0. All right, take this int off here and make it void. See, that's some of the stuff you got to remember. If I'm not returning anything, this should be void. All right, so, and calc should be, what's happening here? What's going on with calc? There's something I'm not doing. Oh, this comes out because I got void. Okay. What's going on here? This. Okay, and whatever. Cannot overload function. Return. Oh, I still got in here. So that's void. My fault. All right. So now I don't know what to do here. The semicolon. Yeah. All right. But now it's giving me a list. Yeah. Expected. Oh yeah, I need a comma. Yep. Good job. All right. So now what's going to happen is going to multiply 20. It's going to pass 25 into num1, multiply it times 2. All right. It's going to pass 33 into num2, and it's going to add 3. It's going to pass 382.22 into num3 and divide by 5. And it's going to pass the lowercase a into letter. And then we'll print all of them out. So let's run it. All right. So you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's at the top. What you see, you got 50 and 50. Well, it's 50 twice, unless it just add. So what it was, 33, and you get 50. I bet you I'd use the same number. All right, you got 50, 50, that's probably an error. No, it's not. Num2, which is 33, plus 3 is not 50. Oh, look what I did. Num1, right? So it's my program. So let's run it again. Okay, so now we should get our results. So we got 50, right, 36, 76.456, and the lowercase a. So see, you have to make sure that what? If I'm passing this information, this could be variables, and this will go in the line in which it is listed. So if I list an int, a float, a char, then I have to do my definition with an int, a char. Because if I tried to put char here, it'll take that number 25 and convert it into a char, value of 25. And then all of a sudden now, you're putting all your other data in different data types, which can give you the wrong results. All right? Okay. So make sure your listings are in order. All right? And we pass by value. That was the individual value, passing the value. What's going on here? Tell you what. Anybody with any questions? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. And like I say, functions with menu-driven systems. Now, what happens is, I'll show you some. But we looked at this membership before, but I'll write it to where we dealing with some numbers and whatnot. We did the return statement. All right, returning a value from a function. We did that. So you need to read up on it. All right, defining a function, so int whatever, and just defining that function that's gonna return at int value, which is results here is of integer. And we did that. All right. All right. Calling a value returning function. Did we? What is that? Calling a value return. Yeah, we did the return. Yeah. All right. What's this? Yeah, we did this. Remember this? Whatever this function sum equates to, it's going to return it into total. So they just explaining some of the same stuff we already talked about. All right. What's up? Oh, that's that. No, not in the chat. Okay, you can return a bool value, just like char, whatever. You can return bool values, and boolean values is either yes, no, on, off, true, false, 1, 0, whatever. So you can return a bool value. Notice what they did. Bool status, all right? But then what? Status equal true, all right? So status is equal to true if this is true. If it's not, status equal false. So depending on depending on what goes on in here, it's going to return whatever status is. And status is declared a what? A bool value. So it's going to pass that bool value back to that calling function. All right? So you can pass any type of data type back. Okay. Now we talked about local and global variables. Remember at the beginning of the class, local variables are only known within the function that they're defined in. Global variables are known throughout the program because they're not defined or declared within a function. All right, or any function, the main or any other function. All right, so that's the difference between local and global. But what I was going to go over. I was going over something I was going to look. We was looking at. Returning from a function. We did that. It was something I was. Menus. All right. So let's look at this. All right. So say what I'm gonna do. So I'll delete this all out to here. All right. So say what happens is. Take this off. So I'll say void add value. All right, and I'll just say int. All right. And do another one, void, multiply. All right, so now, these are some things I want to do with a menu, all right? So now what I can do, I can create a menu. I can do something like see out. Let's see, I'll say, all right, so main menu. What did I do? All right, so I have a main menu. All right, so now what I'll do cout /t, I'll say add numbers. Okay, add numbers. Cout slash J subtract. Oh yeah. Okay. And then I'll say Cout. And then it multiply. All right. And then Cout slash N. And then Cout. Enter your choice. If I can type right, enter your choice, then CN, I can make this chore whatever I want. So I could come up here, or not here. Come up here and do the chore choice. All right, so now, what happens here, this is just the menu, all right? I could run it now just to, well, not can't run it. I need to define my my functions. So let's define our functions. We'll do one and modify the other. So I'll do void, what it was, add numbers. I think that what it was. Okay, and then add numbers, add value. All right, so now what I'm gonna do here is whatever my, let's say do int sum, right? And then I could say sum is equal to num1 plus num2. All right, now I could output it. I could have did a return to return the value and output the value in the main, but I'm gonna just output it here. Cout and all right. So now that's the one for the sum. So it's gonna pass two values, declare another variable, add the two sums to that declared variable, and print out the sum. So now I could do the next one. Like I said, I'm just doing a copy, but I'm gonna have to modify the code because I'm not doing adding. Okay, do a paste, and then this is subtract value. Subtract value, I can use num1, num2, and difference. I'll just say DIF, and then we need to print out DIF. Okay. All right, so that's that one. And then I could do the next one. And this would be prod, what the type. And I still got sum up there. And this will be product. And this will be difference. All right, so now I have those functions set up. Quit just gonna allow me to quit the function. But now, what I need to do is I can either do case statement or if statement or whatever. And normally you could do case switch and you could do choice. All right. And let me see if I got them skills done. Then you do case 1 colon, and then you do you could say I want to call what it is add value semicolon and break. Okay, case 2 colon. All right, and it would be what? Subtract value. Oh no, I gotta do my arguments, remember? And I'm passing numbers on. I'm passing numbers. And I didn't have to, but I can do it. See out. Into 2 integers. Okay. All right, but now I need to do this. All right, man. I should have just did it like why no one? Oh, wow. All right, here we go. So now, and I'll have to do that for the other one. And then I want to do add and num1, num2. All right, so these numbers will be inputted and then they'll be passed. Same thing for this one. I'll do num1. I'll just use the same thing. Num2. All right, but before I do that, I'll do this. All right, copy this and paste this here. All right, okay. So what I'm doing each time, if it's 1, I'm gonna do 2 numbers and then break. I will call the function and break. All right, break. Oh, I forgot to put my semicolon here. Okay, and then case 3. And the same thing, all I'll do is just copy this and I'll change my function name. All right, so enter 2 integers and then we're gonna call, everybody keeping up, understanding what's going on?
Yes, sir.
All right, multiply values, okay, the value. All right, so now that's the call. And then break. All right. And then the next one is default. Well, all right. All right. Okay, so now I'm in semicolon. Yeah, because it's gonna break anyway. All right, so now I have all these set up. So now let's run the program. I think I get everything. But no, multiply value. Where multiply? Oh, did I do it? Oh, I need to change this. multiply value. Here I'm gonna get the product. That's right. I just hadn't changed the name. All right, so let's run this program and see what happens. Now I don't have it in a loop where it'll continue, but I could have, put a loop around here, do while, whatever. I should do it. Let me see. I'll say, okay. And choice as, I'll say not equal. Four. Choice is not equal 4. And while choice is not equal, while choice is not equal to 4. Okay. All right. But then still, all right, it's still kind of erroneous because I got other value. So let's say we do this. We want to do this, and we want to do all of this. All right. And what? Choice, I have to set choice is equal to for the fall in there. All right, so let's run it. Okay. And I should do a system clear. All right. I'm just gonna clear my screen each time. So let's run. I think we got it. So let's run debug it. It should come up with the menu. Oh, I got an error. Let's say no. Num2 use. What is that? What is that? Oh, wow, I got commas. Y'all let me put commas on that? Huh? Can't use commas, you have to use a string when you see it. All right, okay. That's one error. Okay, let's run it. So let's run it. Okay. You know what I didn't do? And I just like for it to be somewhat right. /n /n /n. Oh, it had it on this. So let's run it. What that do? Okay. Debug. So let's run this. So here we have a menu. Okay. So this is the menu. Again, I should have tabbed, but we'll add numbers, subtract numbers, whatever. So let's choose one. Okay. Let's say enter 2 integers. I'll say, put a space, 5 and 8. 5 and 8 is 13, right? Did I print out the values? All right. See, sum equal 13. Clear cannot be recognized. Oh, that's why. Yeah, let me do that. But solid work. It's supposed to be CLS. CLS. And I'll put my /t here, and I'll put a space here. All right. So choice, enter the choice. So let's run it again. Hopefully I got it pretty much set up. So in our choice, whatever choice, we did one. So let's say 2. Okay, enter 2 integers, okay? And we subtracted. I'll say 22 and 5. Oh man, I know what I did wrong. No. 22 and 5. And it's gonna pause the first time. All right, so now, here we go. First time in a pause before it gets started, but that's okay. We'll do it this way. Run it, it's gonna pause, say press any key. All right. Okay, menu, I'll say 1. All right. Enter 2 integers, I'll say 3 and 7. 3 and 7 is 10. Okay, we got 10, it paused. Okay, each time it start over, it's gonna pause. Sum is 10, hit enter. We do a 3, all right? Enter 2 integers, 5 and 2. Okay. Wait a minute, I did 2, right? 5 and 2 is 7. And I know what I didn't do. And it's all me with my logic, because when I copy it, this should say, that's plus. This should say minus. And this should say multiplication. So see, class, sometimes you even though your logic, you don't get errors, you may have logical errors. That's why it's good to debug it or test it. All right, so here we go. Here we go. 1, add 2 numbers, say 100 and 150. That should be what, 250. All right, 250. Hit it. All right, say 2. All right. 200, and we'll say we're going to subtract 50 from 200. We get 150. Hit again, say 3. Hit enter. We want to multiply 15 and 5. 15, 5 times is 75. Hit enter. We type in the number 4. Number 4, you have ended the program. Okay? So see how, and like I say, we pass the values each time, how we can use a menu-driven system. And in that menu-driven system, we have our function calls. So if it's 1, we called add a value. If it was 2, we called subtract value. And if it was 3, we called multiply value. Now, the only thing I would say when I was looking at it and executing it, I could have done different. Where I'm inputting the values, I could have said enter 2 values to sum. Enter 2 values to find the difference. Enter 2 values to find the product. And that would be a little more user-friendly. But all that's programmer style and whatever, but other than that, it worked, and it actually called whatever function based upon this case statement and what function I had within it. Okay? So see how menus can kind of help you? Because even with the programs you write, even though we got functions or whatever, but you can have it to where, okay, I could create a menu and say for 3 of the programs you've written, okay, call that function, call that program and execute it, okay, and return. Call that function or program and execute it and return. So you can have it to where you have a menu-driven system to execute your programs that you have written. All right. Okay. What else? Okay, we did a return statement. Like I say, we pretty much did all of this. Let's see what else they got. Okay, we talked about returning a bool values, just like returning any value. Local and global, we talked about that. What's local and global based on this scope. All right, remember, local variable lifetime. Now you got to work, like when we have a for loop for int, x, whatever, it's only available during the time that for loop is being used. Once it kicks out, it's not there anymore. All right. So that's some of the things it's talking about, lifetime variables. If I do int x inside of the main function, then that x gonna be there the entire duration of that main function. All right. So that's the stuff it's talking about. Global variables, we know they're defined or declared outside of the main and any other function, and they can be used in any function within your program. All right, we talk about constants, global constants. Normally, like when we do arrays, and we'll talk about that, I think, in the next chapter. With arrays, you can create global constants. Outside of the main, create a constant variable, and it's global throughout the program. Can't be changed or anything, but you can use it anywhere in the program. So look, what happens here. They global because what? They're not inside of the body of the main or any other function. So const double pay rate throughout this program, no matter what other function you may have or whatnot, pay rate will always equal to 22.55. Base hours in this program will always equal to 40.0. All right. In this program, overtime multiplier will always equal to 1.5 because it's global. Now you could create another overtime variable, that overtime rate 1, overtime rate 2, and it'll have a different value. But this variable is always 1.5. We're doing the execution of this program. Now I could change it to 2 point something, but when I execute it, it will always be 2 point whatever. All right, it's a global constant. All right. All right, local and global with the same names. And that all depends on the scope. When we understand our scopes, like when we're in a function, we can create variables within that scope that's only known within the scope. So you got to be aware of that. All right. Now, it says static. If a function is called more than once in a program, the variable stored in the function's local variables does not exist between function calls. So when you leave out of it and come back, that variable leaves and then it comes back anew. All right. This is because the local variables are destroyed when the function terminates and then recreated when the function starts again. So, and the thing is, we can write loops to execute a function multiple times. So like say in here, like when we do the 1, we could do a for loop to execute or to call this function more than one time. But each time it performs, when it goes here, it's going to create this variable, all right, create some and do whatever, destroy the values of them, recreate them when it comes to call it the second time. All right. So that's all it's saying in here. All right. Default arguments. Then, like I say, you can give those constant values, but what that does, that eliminates the flexibility of your program. Say, for instance, it's showing area. Area is normally calculated with length times width. So if I run a program where the length is always 20 and the width is always 10, I'm going to always come up with what? The exact same answer. So that's why we use variables, and we allow users to either input the values and or the values be read from a file, and your flowback program is more versatile then. It can be used for multiple purposes or multiple circumstances. All right, same purpose, but multiple circumstances. But like we say, you can use those concrete values. All right, but it just limits your program to just do that. All right. What else? Okay. Using reference variables as parameters. We talked about that by using what? That ampersand. Remember? When you use that ampersand, that's when whatever you do to this variable here is done to the variable where it was where the value was sent from, because you're working at the address level. Okay? So you got to remember that. And look, it's just telling you about when you're doing the function definition of prototype. which is your declaration. All right, same thing here, and it say these two are the exact same thing. All right, so it doesn't matter how you write it; it's basically the same. All right, okay. Let's see what else. Now overloading, and like I said, what overloading normally is when you calling a program 2 or more times, all right, and it's performing the same operation. That's the definition of overload. So it's a 2 or more functions may have the same name as long as the parameters, okay, list are different. All right. So what that means, I could have a function and call it some what it was, add values, and I could pass an int and an int. But then I could have another function that with the same name called add values, but then in that list I could have an int, and an int. So the first one had 2 arguments, the next one had 3. Or I could have an int, add values, int, and then add values, int, float. That's 2 different, the same name, but you got 2 different argument lists. All right, and that's called overloading. All right, so but you'll know which one you're calling based upon the values that is placed in those arguments. All right, so let's look at this. All right, let's see here. They have a function called square. All right, then they have another function called square. This one, and let's look at the prototype. See, we have this one called square. But what? The argument list is passing a what? An int. We have a function called square, and this one is passing a what? A double. So you see, same name, no problem, but as long as the argument list is different. Now, whether it's multiple arguments or single argument, long as it's different. No, and the difference is the data types. All right. Okay, and like I said, they both doing the same thing, because what happens is this one calls, let's see where it is. It says enter an integer and a floating point value. So they see in use an int and use a float. But then what they did a cout square, but they call square and they pass the int value. So the system knows what? It's going to use what? This int function here. Then it says square, use a float, and it knows what? This is a double, so it's going to use this particular function, all right, to do what it needs to do. So you got that int function that multiplies the 2 and return the int. Then you got that double function that passes the double value and it returns. All right, so any questions, class? Anybody have any questions? Questions? And as we go to exit again, we looked at that before in the previous chapter. Drivers, the drivers would be like the main functions we had. Not main function, but menu function, and I showed you that just now, how that works and whatnot. All right, so basically that's the chapter. So what I'll do, I'll post the assignment. I think, let me see what assignment we have for this class. Is this 1933? Yeah. Okay. So we go to modules, and let's go to the programs. Well, y'all did program 5, right? Well, let's see, no, the assignments. Yeah, y'all did the program 5. Program 6. Program 6, right? The program that was, okay. Yeah, okay. So this would be use a function, correct. So this is the one. So this is the one I'm gonna publish these programs for you to do, all right? And And then I'll post also the test. Okay. So this is 2. I'll make them do the 16. Okay. And make sure you use your functions. Make sure you follow. Oh man. Make sure you follow the instructions. Y'all was quiet though. Okay, save and publish. All right, that's the first one. Okay, this is the second one. Write a program and basically the same thing, but use a function to accomplish this. Declare the variables as local variables and create the function. And I think the other one, if you look at the other one, previous, this one say what? Make sure that you're a label. Use a function. Declare the variables global. Everybody understand that? The first program is global, so you won't have to pass any arguments, correct? Because they'll be known in all functions, right? But in the second one, when you take those variables that you declare, like your length, your width, and you have to pass them to the other function, then it could say your variables should be local, all right? Because you're gonna get all kind of errors. Because you could even make a copy. Once you get the first one done, you could probably make a copy of it, save it, then use the copy to make this one, and simply take the variables in that's global and make them local, and then pass them to your functions, and to get it right. All right. So that's the 2 programs. One of them is to write the program using functions and using global variables, and one of them is to do the exact same program to write with functions with local variables being passed to the function. All right. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Yes,
excuse me. Somebody said something. Okay. Well, I'm gonna post the reading of the chapter. I'll post that and only one chat. And I'll post.
Did you say we'd have a quiz and a test as well?
Right. That's what I'm posting now. Yeah. I'm posting that so you'll have that available. Right. But I posted the assignment already. Okay, that's the reading. I might just get a one try because you're just saying yes, whatever. The quiz, let's see what the quiz chapter 6. Okay, edit this. Should be 2 of 10. Yeah, paste and paste. Okay, I didn't do the whatever. And in the test, I have. Oh, let me go to the test. I don't know. I don't think I did do the test. Test 6. Okay, edit. Test 6. I don't did the test. Okay. Paste. Paste. Okay. 2 minutes. Test. All right. So I need to save this. All right. So you have your assignment, your 2 assignments, and then your quizzes. And like I say, next class period, we probably look at arrays and we see how arrays work, how to manipulate them and whatnot. All right. Any questions?
Sir.
All right. So if no questions, I'll see y'all on next class period.
I got one question at the end, if that's okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So if I'm finished, everybody, you can go ahead on and go. We'll talk. We'll talk next class period. All right, what you got, man?
Hey, I just was gonna ask you right quick. I saw you was putting the assignments up. I was trying to log in. I'm on my tablet right now. I'm trying to log in on Google to see the Canvas. Did you mean to put all of them due November 16th at 1 a.m.?
Not one. No, should be 12.
Okay.
12 p.m. Yeah.
So 11:59 because I'm
Yeah,
about to check.
11:59. Yeah, 12 and midnight. Yeah. Yeah, give y'all the whole day. Yeah, yeah. Let me go back. Now that's the assignments.
I saw it when you were copying and pasting it. I was trying to log in right quick, but my computer's being
Okay.
a little bit slow.
All right.
I was just making sure because
I know. I normally make them the whole day. You know. Yeah. Let's see. And what time I have?
I'm logging in one
Oh,
second.
6. That was on the assignments, right?
Yes, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Give me, my computer's being a little bit slow.
Yeah, it does have at 1 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Okay, let's edit that.
Okay, yeah, this one says for quiz chapter 6. Quiz chapter 6 is also 1 a.m., November 16th. And the test for chapter 6 is also 1 a.m., November 16th.
Yeah.
So if you said that's the assignments as well, I was just making sure.
Right. Okay, that's 11:59 p.m.
So we only have 2 assignments this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we do any more solo learn in the last couple weeks? I haven't seen it get posted.
No. It only. I think I did the first 3. I think, right? Or did
I
I
know
do
you.
the? Did
I
I
know
put the
you did
second
the
out?
first 2, but I
Oh, well,
don't know
I
about
might
the
need to put
third.
the third. I'm gonna put the third one out. So y'all, and it's just gonna give you a little extra. You know what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
gives
See,
you but it'll
I
help your grade.
see.
Yeah.
I see basic concepts and conditionals and loops, but I don't see another one.
Okay, I'm gonna add that one too. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
And it
Appreciate
just
it.
all right, and it just help your grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got that one, but I should have copied it. Okay, let's edit that.
And I know I asked you this one already, but do you know if you're teaching this class the next course next semester? 1943?
I don't. Let me see. I
I
don't.
signed up for it. There was only one available, I believe, but
Was my
it didn't.
name up? Was my
It
name
didn't have
up?
a professor listed, but that was a
No.
couple weeks ago, so I could probably recheck.
Right, and if it don't have it, then it might be Dr. Knowles or somebody teaching it. Yeah.
I'll log into to
Right, to
do
see
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate all your help.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. And like I say, I probably might teach it if they have to add another section. Then I'll probably be teaching that section.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but. Okay. Save that one. Quiz. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it says instructor not available yet. It's for a live class at 6
Right.
p.m.
At 6, yeah, see, and there's a night class. Yeah, see. Yeah, it might be Dr. Knowles teaching that class. Because normally a night class like that, an adjunct is teaching it. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Yeah. Not all the time, but most time. If they can't
Gotcha.
find an adjunct, then it might be me. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you see it at 10 o'clock, that's probably me. If they ever
Gotcha.
open another one, it's 10. Yeah, that's probably me.
Gotcha. I appreciate that.
All right then.
All righty. Well, you have a nice day.
All right, you too, man.